Hello, session 13. So let's have a look. I'm going to share the screen and we'd like you to do these sheets, complete the sheets before the class and read the Ruth Whole book. And obviously you are getting on with your case studies as well as you can. So here we've got these areas being covered in this section about talks, theory revision, consultations revision, a bit on diet and nutrition. So let's have a look. We've got giving talks, and this is Jan, who's give a talk on reflexology to the residents and staff at a care home for the elderly. So she needs to pick a couple of things to talk about that particularly apply to care homes. So 2 benefits that she could talk to them about. So have a think. You've got the residents and also listening are the staff as well. So imagine working in a care home and what reflexology could do for you and living in a care home. So I've chosen a couple of things here. 2 benefits: help with stress and to help with sleep. It can be very stressful, the job anyway, and so it's helping with sleep. So I just thought of those. See what you can think of, what you would think of helping residents with, and the people that work there. And another reflex that you could use. So we could choose the brain, digestive system, and spine. So she could concentrate on the brain and think of the things that are going on in your head. So help the busy brain. That would be appealing to them, be appealing to anyone. Help with the digestive system. A lot of elderly people get an awful lot of constipation and heartburn. So that's another one that they would like to hear about. And the spine, well, the spine, as you know, goes to all the areas of the body. But also we've got the obvious thing with the spine, with the backache. And that is often the case with sitting for periods of time. So that's something to think about. So put them, to choose one of those, put them down, and then you can discuss them a bit more in the classroom. Suggest one further reflex that she could demonstrate for carers. So demonstrating, it would be easier to work on the hand, and then I would suggest the solar plexus to help with relaxation and stress. So that would be an easy one, wouldn't it? Or you might choose the shoulder, which is this triangle here, and that would be an easy one to show them as well. Yeah. So let's have a look. Now, thinking of giving a talk to senior management of a company, a reflexologist would want to highlight what could benefit the benefits of their employees that might help to reduce the stress levels. So they want to pay, if they want to pay for their employees, they're looking at the bottom line of what they are going to get from it. So think of those things. So you think going to help with concentration, it would help to boost the immune system, and of course that would help to stop the sick leave if the boom, and also lift the mood. All those things actually would help stop people not coming to work, because that is absenteeism is a big thing with companies. So then you've got manual workers in the factory, and so what would you say to them to encourage them to have reflexology? So you could say it may help with sleep, could help with back problems, it may help with concentration, and it may help with mood. So you can't make any promises, but this is the sort of thing that you know from experience it has helped with your clients, and who knows, it could help them. So This one is on the theory and philosophy and effects of reflexology. Use the Ruth Whole book on section 1 of your course folder. What is a definition of reflexology? I personally like the Anne Galander's one. That's the foot chart that we're using, the pink one. Reflexology is a science that deals with the principle that there are reflexes in the hands and feet relative to all organs, functions, and parts of the human body, and applying pressure to these points can bring about amazing results. Reflexology relieves stress, normalizes functions, balances the body, and relieves pain. That is Anne's definition. There are other definitions. Find one that you like, but please learn it off by heart, just like you did at school with poetry. What are the benefits? So there's a few examples, and I've taken these actually from the AOR Facebook page, because it's really hard not to tie. It's a very fine line between saying what reflexology can do and making claims, outrageous claims. So what they've said is the theory is that reflexology helps to restore the body to balance. And usually after treatment, the tension's reduced and you might feel relaxed. And you might notice you're sleeping better and that your mood and well-being is improved. So something like that. What are the benefits? So what are some of the conditions that reflexology can help? Well, it can help with aches and pains and digestive problems, tension and stress. And because it deeply relaxes the body and it helps the body to the parasympathetic nervous system to come down, because it's a sympathetic one and the adrenal system that's going, oh, go, 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 go. And what reflexology does is bring that down so that you can function effectively with a balance between the two. You need a balance between the two, otherwise you wouldn't get out of bed. The parasympathetic and the sympathetic, but that's where you get the homeostasis from. So because it's a holistic therapy, it's working with the mind and body and will help improve the cardiovascular and lymphatic system. If you're improving the lymphatic system and the cardiovascular system, it's going everywhere because the blood is taking the chemicals, the hormones, the your body's own painkillers around the body. So who can benefit from reflexology? I've taken this off the AOR website as well. That reflexology is a therapy that can be received by anyone at any age. So that's newborn babies to those receiving end of life and everyone in between. So it could be babies to elderly people and everyone in between. What must you never claim? Never claim to cure. How does reflexology work? Well, there's so many theories, and you wrote about those when you did your in session 1. You did a lot of research, didn't you, into pain gate theory, endorphin release, the autonomic and somatic integration, and lactic acid. But really, in my opinion, and the meridian as well, that we're actually working on the meridians, because the meridians end at the hands and feet, and we're actually working on the meridians. I think it's like magic, really, the way it works. I don't think there is a definitive way of explaining how it works. And also what we have to remember is that nobody knows how anesthetic works. If someone could explain how it worked, they'd get a Nobel Prize. So the fact that we don't know how it works doesn't mean to say it doesn't work. Okay. So why are the feet normally treated? Well, feet are more sensitive than the hands. Traditionally, UNIS started with the feet. Now, of course, it's changing so much. We've got ear reflexology, we've got facial reflexology. But traditionally, we started with the feet, and that's it, really. So what are the reasons for treating the hand instead of the foot? So put down some of your answers. I'm just going to go over some. There could be a problem with the feet. there could be lack of time, because if someone only had 20 minutes, it would be a good idea to give them a hand reflexology treatment, because it doesn't take so long to do the hands as it does the feet. It could be the client's preference that they don't like their feet being seen by anyone or touched. Ease of access, but if you're doing a well-being event, then that would be a good time to use the hands instead of the feet, because people don't have to take their shoes and socks off, particularly if it's winter and they've got boots on. And the reason as well to treat the hands is that you can easily show your client how to work on their own hand in between their treatments. So the transverse zones go across the body, and they were developed by Hannah Marquette and Dwight Byers. Hannah Marquette was the lady who took reflexology from Unisingham to Germany and taught it to the medical. Dwight Byers is Unisingham's nephew, if you remember. And they help us to locate the organs and structures of the body. That's their job. And that answer, that is in the Roof Whole book, if you want to look it up on page 13. So the philosophy of reflexology in a nutshell, it's to achieve homeostasis or balance of the body by working both feet or hands. Now we're coming on to the consultation process. So the aims of a consultation, you know this now, to get to know a client, to reassure them about confidentiality, to get their personal details, to find out if there's any contraindications, to find out where they're coming to you, what they expect, discuss their lifestyle, in case you need to refer them on, and establish a treatment plan. So there's lots of reasons why you need to do a consultation. So how do you conduct a consultation? So physically, you want to be close to them, but not too close. And if the chairs aren't facing each other, but at sort of right angles, at a nice distance, we can show you in the classroom. And we've also got a video of the consultation that you can see. Avoid sitting behind a desk, avoid crossing your arms, avoid looking around the room, maintain eye contact, be confident, relax and smile. So, and give them your time and attention. So the essential points to cover, we need their name, address, their doctor, medical history, their lifestyle, if they're going to another therapist, the last time they saw their doctor, if they're on medication, any herbal products, exercise that they do, their hobbies, their nutrition, their sleep. So this is what you want to find out, and also what their parents, what's in the family for health conditions. That's a good one to know about. So communication, how do we communicate, is with our body language, the tone of our voice, and we obviously speak to the client and listen to when they talk. So this is how we communicate. It's not just speaking. So what is involved in body language? Well, the way you hold yourself, that you smile, you don't fold your arms, no slumped shoulders. You know, if you were sitting there like this or like this, looking a bit sad, it wouldn't inspire confidence in someone coming to see you, would it? How long do we take to make up our mind about someone when we first meet them? And it's around 7 seconds or less. It could just be like that. And sometimes it's that first gut instinct that is right. I have been wrong. And I'm always pleased when I'm wrong about someone. I think, oh, you know, I don't like them. And they turn out to be one of the nicest people, but for some reason, got off on the wrong foot. Anyway, body language, the percentage. And Albert Mehrabian researched this, and the spoken word for our what people take away isn't so much what we say, It's our body language and our tone. So our spoken word is 7% of 100% of what people gather from us. The voice, the pitch, the speed, the tone, all that's a big part. And the other big part is body language. If I was sitting here like this, and another thing, I'm going to tell you this. Well, you think, oh, what's the matter with her? So we have to just think about how we are perceived. So conducting a consultation, complete this before the class, just put it in what body language. It would be open, not arms folded, and you wouldn't have slumped shoulders. How would you arrange the table? You wouldn't have it in between the chairs. You could have the table there and the chairs side by side, right angles, like that. Space for the feet. Somebody once did that and my knees were touching theirs. I thought, well, that's a bit close. A bit odd. What is the difference between an open and a closed question? Well, the time that they take to answer it is one thing. A closed question, have you ever had a reflexology before? Is a closed question, isn't it? Yes or no. It's a yes or no question. But an open one is, would you like to tell me how you cope with your headaches? Instead of, or another one would be, do you have headaches? Yes. Okay. Do you take anything for it? Yes. What do you take for it? This. So you could ask an open question. Oh, I see here it says you've got headaches. Would you mind telling me how do you cope with it? Do you take anything or what do you do? So when and why might you use a closed question? Well, if you just want a yes or no answer, sometimes you just need to know that. You don't need to know the whole story and history of, you don't need to know the minutiae of a story. Sometimes you just need that, a closed question to get a yes or no answer. Have you been to the doctor recently? Yes. Could you tell me what the reason that you went? Oh, because blah, blah, blah. That's so you just want it. And if you have too many open questions, you'll never get the, you never get out of the consultation. So when and why might you use an open question? When you want detail, when you want more than just headache tablets or this, or how does not sleeping affect you the next day? So you want more than I'm tired. So what clues can we pick up from a client's body language? It's important to assess the client's body language because it gives you a clue about their mental state far more than what they say. Because if they're like this, talking slowly, then you think they're not really very happy, are they? So one of the things that you can do with your client is mirror the way they sit, and this helps to build up a rapport. And so if they put their, and don't make it too obvious though, otherwise it becomes like you're doing some sort of a mirror routine. But not if they are slumped. You wouldn't slump like it, but you can mirror some of the things that they are doing using a similar hand gesture, for example, and that can build up a rapport with someone. And that means that you're getting that therapeutic relationship going. So just answer I know you're going to realize what this is. I don't need to tell you, do I? Just put it down. Crossed arms and legs, either not very happy or they're nervous. This is a protecting mechanism, isn't it? Speaking very fast, another thing for nervous. Wringing their hands, nerves. Touching their face, nervous. Hand over the mouth. Foot tapping, avoiding eye contact. These are all signs that, all these signs is that they're nervous. So, now we're going to go on to diet and nutrition. Why does the body need food? We need the food to build the body, to build our muscles and bones, and to maintain our body systems, to produce energy, to repair the physical body, for cell replacement, and to regulate our body's processes, because different food help the hormones, different food helps build up bones, different food helps the nervous system. They all work together to help our body. So the basic components of a balanced diet, we've got carbs, fat, protein, minerals, and vitamins. And fiber is important because it holds water and it aids the passage of faces through the digestive tract, through the colon. And so it helps prevent constipation and reduces the amount of digestive and bowel disorders, and adds bulk to the waist. So it aids normal bowel function and requires more water, which helps to stimulate the saliva and the gastric juices and helping with digestion. So a lot of pappy food that just slips down isn't so good for our system. We need something with a bit of fiber in it. So modern food production, we've got the chemical sprays that can adversely affect our health. We've got intensive farming, the use of unnatural components in animal feed, feeding them on other animals. We've got genetic modification. We've got the chemical industrial processes and adding additional chemicals, which are rubbish, which is why we are encouraged to eat whole food and not the processed food, because they are just so bad for us. If we can get into the habit of reading labels and see just what's in there, we and what it does, we wouldn't want to eat it. So it's what you're putting in your body does affect your mental and your physical health. Anyway, I expect you know that anyway. I'm sure you do. So caffeine, write a paragraph or two on caffeine and its effects on the body. Also include decaffeinated tea and coffee. How is it decaffeinated and is this good for us? Well, caffeine boosts our energy and mood, and that can be helpful in the mornings. I just got this off the internet on WebMD. There's loads of information out there, but it can interfere with your sleep, and it stays in your body for 6 hours after you've drunk it. So it's best not to have it. In fact, it's best not to have it after midday, a caffeine product. And it's not just in tea and coffee, it's also in chocolate, energy drinks, and other pre-packaged food and drinks. So we just need to remember that. It raises our heart rate, it can raise our blood pressure. And raising our heart rate can be good because it's a stimulant, and for when we wake up in the morning, that's a good thing. But if you have too much of it, or you're overly sensitive to it, or you've got a problem with your heart, then it might not be such a good idea to drink too much of it. It makes you pee. So have a look at what is the information out there on decaf, because it was thought that higher doses can cause headaches, confusion, nausea, vomiting, dizziness, fatigue. But what they found and was found to cause liver and lung cancer. But in 1999, the FDA concluded that the trace elements are too minuscule to affect your health. So, and then there was 2017, a review on decaf, and it's a similar composition to regular coffee. And there's different ways that they take out the caffeine. There's carbon dioxide. There's an ethyl acetate where they soak it in ethyl acetate and the caffeine is removed, but the ethyl acetate is left in there. And there's methylene chloride, which is similar to ethyl acetate, and that's also used for extraction. And some countries have banned the importation of teas that have been decaffeinated because they found it has got a chemical link to cancer and birth defects. So it would be best to find out how your decaffeinated product is decaffeinated, and there's also a water one. There's a water processing one, and the problem with that is it takes the flavor out. I got that from this blog here. I just looked it up, the pros and cons of drinking decaf tea. Lots of information about it, and it's quite interesting to find out, and then find out the brands that are safe and good, and that then you can recommend to a client. If they ask you, you could say, well, this is a good brand, it's best not to have it after 12 o'clock. And some of the decaffeinated have got traces of caffeine in them anyway, so you have to be careful with those in the evening as well. So we have here a list of vitamins and the food sources that they come from and the function of these vitamins, which is really good. So have a look at those. And this one is, I want to improve the look of my skin and hair. What food would you recommend I eat? Well, vitamin A is good. And we've got eggs, berries, spinach, fatty fish, sweet potatoes, avocados, nuts and seeds. Plenty of choice there for someone to improve the look of their skin and hair. I eat a lot of nuts in my diet. Which vitamin and mineral do they contain? Well, they are rich in vitamin A, B6, and minerals such as magnesium, zinc, iron, calcium, copper. Huge amount of good come from nuts, adding nuts to the diet. I'm suffering from anemia. Which mineral may be lacking in my body? So what would be good lunch for me? Well, we all know it's iron, that's the mineral, and leafy green vegetables are really good. So salad would be really good. Seafood, so a seafood with some salad would be a good lunch. Meat and poultry all contain iron, so they could have a chicken salad or something like that. That would be ideal. Oily fish contain A and D vitamins, and a vegan may be low in vitamin B, which is the same answer as this one. It's the mineral that's essential for impulses along the nerve cells. So that's actually a vitamin that I do take, vitamin B12, to help my nerves. So yeah, there you are. That's the you're going to have some questions on the zones of the feet and the hands, so that's always good, I think. And I'm just going to wash this up to the top. So that's session 13, and I like this saying from Will Smith: I've always considered myself to be just average talent, and what I have is a ridiculous, insane obsessiveness for practice and preparation. So that's how and that will apply to all of us, won't it? So yeah, so I hope that was okay, and get it all prepared before the class, and then the tutor will bring out you and the tutor can bring out the best bits. So get it all done and come in with the worksheets all filled in. See you soon.